Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's literally inside of you. We're diving deep into this incredible hidden ecosystem living in your gut. And you know what? We're going to learn how to take care of it just like a gardener takes care of a garden. So, let's get started. So let me ask you a question right off the bat. Are all germs your enemy? I mean, for years, we've been taught to just sanitize everything, right? To see germs as these bad guys we have to get rid of. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close. What if some of these germs are actually your best friends? The reality is, you're not just you. You're actually a superorganism. You're a host to trillions, and I mean trillions with a T, of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, viruses, the whole shebang. They form this incredibly complex community, this hidden world inside of us, and we call it the microbiome. So let's get to know this inner ecosystem a little better. How do we even interact with this world inside of us? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. While your body provides the real estate, it's the food you eat that is the #1 way you communicate with this community every single day. Just think about that for a second. Every single meal you eat is like sending a message down to these trillions of tiny helpers. You're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding an entire civilization living inside you. And the choices you make, they literally shape the health and balance of your entire internal world. So every good garden starts with good soil, right? It's the foundation. And in our internal garden, that soil is fiber. It is the absolute most essential nutrient that our microbial buddies need to thrive. Okay, so what exactly is fiber? Basically, it's the stuff in plants, fruits, veggies, whole grains, that our own bodies can't break down. But here's the kicker. Just because we can't digest it does not mean it's waste. Oh no, it's far from it. This is where it gets really cool. Think of it like a division of labor. Our digestive system, it's great at grabbing nutrients like sugars and fats for our energy, but it completely fails when it comes to complex fiber. That's a job for our microbes. They are the specialists. They break it down, and in return, they produce all these amazing compounds that are absolutely crucial for our gut health and our immune system. So let's trace the journey, shall we? You eat, say, an apple or a bowl of oatmeal. That fiber just sails right through your stomach and your small intestine, totally untouched by you. But then it reaches the large intestine, which is basically downtown for your gut community. And that's when the party starts. It becomes a massive feast for all those good microbes. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. We have to completely change how we think about fiber. It is not just roughage to be passed through. It is the primary fuel source for the most important residents of your internal garden. All right, we've got our soil established with fiber. So how do we make it even better? Well, let's talk about prebiotics. Think of these as a kind of specialized, high-quality fertilizer. They are specific types of fiber that don't just feed everyone, they selectively feed your absolute best microbes, the real all-stars you want to encourage in your garden. And the best part? You don't need to go out and buy expensive supplements. You can find prebiotics in everyday foods. Things like onions and garlic, oats, even slightly green bananas or potatoes that have been cooked and then cooled. A varied diet pretty much guarantees you're getting these powerful fertilizers naturally. Okay, so our soil is prepped and fertilized. Now let's talk about what we're actually planting. A healthy garden isn't just one type of plant over and over again, right? It's a diverse forest. It's full of different species that work together to create a really resilient ecosystem. Well, guess what? The same is true for your gut. And this just lays it out perfectly. A repetitive diet, eating the same handful of things day in and day out, that's like a farm with only one crop. It's super fragile, really vulnerable. But a varied, colorful diet, that supports a huge community of different microbes, creating a system that is strong, robust, and resilient, just like a thriving forest. So what's a good goal to shoot for? The magic number is 30. Try to aim for 30 different types of plant-based foods every week. Now that might sound like a lot, but hold on. This includes fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, even all your herbs and spices count. Every different plant feeds a different type of microbe. But why is this diversity so critical? Well, your gut has limited real estate. It's like a neighborhood. When you cultivate a thriving, diverse community of good guys, they take up all the space and they use all the resources. This leaves absolutely no room for the troublemakers, the bad microbes, to move in and cause problems. A healthy microbiome is literally your first line of defense.
All right, let's tackle a word you've probably heard a million times: probiotics. Where do they fit into our garden metaphor? Well, the best way to think about them is not as permanent residents, but as helpful, temporary visitors.
Okay, this is a super common misconception. A lot of people think that when you eat yogurt or take a probiotic supplement, those little guys move in and set up a permanent home. But that's not really how it works. As you can see, they're just supportive visitors passing through. Your native, permanent residents, those are the ones you build up over a lifetime with fiber. Probiotics are fantastic for support, but they are not a replacement for feeding your homegrown team.
But don't get me wrong, while they're visiting, they can do some really amazing work. They can help calm down inflammation, they can send signals to your native microbes, kind of telling them to work harder, and they can be especially helpful during stressful times, or when you're traveling, or after you've taken a course of antibiotics. Things like kimchi, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, these are fantastic natural sources of these probiotic visitors. Bringing them into your diet consistently, in moderation, adds this wonderful layer of support. But it's so important to remember, they are not a magic bullet. They can't fix a diet that's low in fiber and diversity. So we've explored the soil, we've explored the forest, and we've met the visitors. What does this all boil down to? What's the core philosophy of a good gut gardener? It's actually incredibly simple. This right here is the biggest takeaway of all. Taking care of your microbiome is not about crash diets, or expensive superfoods, or following some perfect, intense protocol. It is all about the small, consistent choices you make day after day. It's about playing the long game. And this just sums it all up beautifully. It's 3 simple actions. Number 1, fiber to feed. That's your soil. Number 2, diversity to strengthen. That's your forest. And number 3, probiotics to support. Those are your helpful visitors. That's it. That's the whole strategy. At the end of the day, your internal ecosystem isn't some enemy you have to fight. It's a beautiful part of your biology that you get to nourish. Every single meal is an opportunity. It's a choice. You are the gardener, so the only question left is, what will you choose to grow?